Peace, what's up? It's Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today it's just a video based off of going from believing to knowing and that transition in between. There's a couple things that I talk with clients about. Sometimes it goes from, just basics on how they can get clear and be unblocked within themselves, and then it goes into kind of just like more that that aspect of being clear within yourself and knowing who you are, and just knowing what's true for you and what's true for yourself, and just also knowing that necessarily that other people's truths are not necessarily your truths, and sticking to that and being able to kind of lead your life off that, because it's kind of like a core value type of thing. That's based off of your existence of who you are. You kind of just go through life based off of a set of values, whether they're yours or not, and then you get to choose. You're either choosing consciously or unconsciously if they're yours, or you're kind of just following the script somebody else wrote or somebody else made up, or something somebody else kind of just got from somebody else, and you're just like play acting it out. So that's what we're talking about. It goes in depth, but I just want to keep it shallow here. This is a topic that I am kind of a little bit adamant about, just because it's also, a lot of your power comes from who you are and the strength in yourself and how you know and what you know and how you know what you are. And that a lot of that comes from the beginning, and the beginning is, setting out your values for yourself. So what I usually do with clients is I have them set up like a list of values and lists of their personal truths, and kind of like guide them into a sequence that they use and utilize to start getting clear within themselves, within their personal space, within their lives, and then expand outwards from there. Based off of who you are, your values kind of go differently from person to person. A lot of people like abundance. They usually start with money. A lot of other people, they like health and fitness. Most people want happiness, and relationships and all that. So, you kind of base your values off of those things. But where it gets in depth is, only you know. Beliefs are not knowing. Beliefs are kind of like a construct that, the negative ego has placed in the society, has placed in the world, to kind of just like say that it identifies, it has an identification, because that's what it is. It's just kind of like a false identification, just to say it identifies, if that makes any sense. So what most people run off is ego, and they say, oh, I believe in this. That's kind of like a piece of themselves that they put out, and they kind of like hold on to, like it's part of them, when it's just a thought form. It has no substance, it's just a concept. It's kind of like an external attachment that they create in their minds and they hold on to. And where it gets bad for some people is, they kind of just argue, or they shut people down, or they kind of just don't open themselves to any other truth that might be available, even if it kind of does cut into their growth. But that kind of is up to them. Everybody moves at a pace, whether they want to grow or not. And it also comes down to the fact if that person, is ready to grow, because we all have the potential to grow within ourselves and move into that inner knowing of what is actually true for ourselves, and and expand from there. So yeah, the negative ego, um, it harbors all types of belief systems, and it has these beliefs, um, programmed inside people's minds, and they're like a prisoner inside their own mind. And that's a lot of, the indoctrinated culture, the financial system, the traditional education system, the government system, all that, it doesn't change until somebody is truly, truly, truly personally affected. One of the things I found funny, well, not funny, but one of the things that currently happened is, I don't know if you guys follow any politics, but the Senator John McCain, he got off a deathbed to basically revoke Obamacare, which is a healthcare system. Some people say it's gonna take a lot of people off healthcare, so they can bring in Trump care, so Trump can have his heyday. I'm not for Trump. I'm not for Obama. I'm kind of neutral. Just letting it play out. I'm not getting into that. What I'm getting into is the way McCain was sick, and he got off his deathbed to go and be with the Republicans on the floor in the House. And what he did was, everybody thought he was going to repeal Obamacare, and he voted for it to stay because he's sick and he saw it was going to hurt people. So it comes down to your personal truth and what you feel is most relevant in the current moment, depending on any situation or life circumstance you might be in. And that's when change happens for most people. So remember, people only see the truth based off of their personal situation and their rational choice of thought. So always stay patient of what is going on around you, and people who kind of judge, based off of your own personal truth. And, maybe sometime they'll come around to, stepping into the truth for themselves. All you can do is, just hold space for that and, remain sovereign within your own being. So if you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.net, quantum-light.net. I do healing and intuitive coaching.